looked totally lost in that BBC interview, like he was tired, scared, and not quite in touch with what's real. The happy royal everyone used to love seemed like a faded version of himself, buried under confusion and feeling worn out. You don't need to be a doctor to see something was really wrong. And Thomas Markle Jr., Meghan's brother, didn't hold back when asked who he thought caused all this. His answer was super direct: Meghan. He says she's not just guiding Harry. She's totally controlling him from the outside. It's like watching a movie play out, with Meghan writing the story, making herself a new Princess Diana and Harry her loyal but sad sidekick. Every time they go out, every interview, every word feels planned ahead. It's like Harry gets a script before he talks. If that's true, that kind of control is scary. It explains a lot. The guy who used to flash a big smile for cameras now looks like he hasn't been happy in forever. But here's the spooky part. Harry wasn't always like this. He was the prince everyone loved. Sure, he was a bit wild, but so full of energy. He'd joke with people, dance at events, and fight for good causes with real passion. Now he talks like he's always battling his family, the news, and even his own country. He's nervous, thinking there's a huge plot to keep him unsafe, worried that history will repeat and Meghan or his kids will end up like Diana. And where's Meghan in all this? Posting online, talking about her kids, showing off her lifestyle brand, and dropping another boring podcast about her morning habits. It's almost weird. While Harry's struggling in public, Meghan's online life is all "I'm so happy." That difference is hard to miss. It makes you think one person's living a dream while the other is quietly falling apart. Thomas doesn't sugarcoat it. He says his sister is obsessed with being Diana. Not just looking up to her, but trying hard to be her, buying website names, giving vague interviews, and building a story where she's the misunderstood princess fighting a mean system. But Diana was warm and caring. Thomas says Meghan's just super ambitious. She's calculated, like she's acting for cameras. He says Harry and the kids are like pieces in her big show. Nobody in the family has seen them. Not Meghan's dad, not even King Charles. That's not just sad. It's on purpose. The kids are used to control the story. Meghan talks a lot about family, but cuts out anyone who doesn't fit her plan. Her dad, who worked hard to pay for her school and help her acting career, ignored. Her siblings, ignored. Everyone from before she was famous, gone. The signs were there early. Thomas remembers when Meghan divorced her first husband, Trevor. No reason, no goodbye. She just mailed his ring back and vanished. Trevor, who adored her, was ditched the moment he wasn't useful anymore. And now Thomas sees the same thing happening with Harry. Controlled, pushed aside, and maybe soon left behind. Because that's her pattern. Use, climb, drop. It happened with Trevor, with her family, and some think it's only a matter of time before it happens again. There's this moment that stands out. Harry said his own dad, King Charles, and some mystery government people didn't want him protected, that they might even want him dead, that if he brought Meghan and the kids to Britain, something terrible could happen, like with Diana. It wasn't just dramatic, it was wild. Who thinks like that? Who accuses their family of that without proof? And more importantly, who put that idea in his head? To Thomas Markle Jr., it's obvious. He thinks Meghan's behind it all. The fear, the conspiracy talk, the carefully picked words, it feels like part of a big act, a strange story where Meghan rewrites history with herself as the star. And Harry? He's not just her co-star. He's the guy reading her lines, delivering her message like a prop in her play. And that fear about safety? It's not just about feeling secure, it's about control. Meghan and Harry built a whole story about being victims, saying they were denied protection, mistreated by the royals, and bullied by the press. But the more people look, the less it makes sense. The Queen herself reportedly asked them to stop using their royal titles for business, and Meghan didn't listen. She kept using them on websites, ads, anywhere she could. Why? Probably for the fame, the prestige. She loved the title more than the family behind it. That's what really stings. The monarchy gave her a stage, and she turned it into her own show. Meghan didn't want to be part of the royal family. She wanted to run it. She came in with Hollywood shine and a PR team, ignored the rules, and broke traditions. It wasn't about helping or duty. It was about getting noticed, making headlines, building her brand. And when the palace pushed back, she flipped the story and said she was oppressed. Meanwhile, her real family got erased. Thomas says it started way before the wedding. Meghan's attitude changed after college, especially when she was in Canada. She got cold, distant, even mean. The way she talked to her dad changed. The man who paid for her school and gave up everything for her dreams suddenly wasn't good enough. She acted like he didn't exist. The same thing happened with her first husband, Trevor. Thomas remembers him well, kind, respectful, loved Meghan so much. But one day, out of nowhere, she sent his wedding ring back in the mail. No talk, no explanation, just cut him off. Why? Because she was moving up and he wasn't part of her plan anymore. It wasn't personal, it was strategy. And that's the scary part. Meghan doesn't seem to treat relationships like most people do. Everything feels like a deal. The moment someone doesn't help her image, she drops them. Her siblings? Gone. Her dad? Gone. Trevor? Gone. Old friends? Gone. She's building a perfect storybook life, carefully edited for everyone to see. Anything that doesn't fit gets cut out. But Harry? He's hard to cut out. He's a royal, the connection, the reason people pay attention. That's why Thomas thinks Meghan won't leave him yet. Not until he's no longer useful. But once the titles are taken away, once Prince William makes that move, everything will change. No titles, no fame, no leverage. That's when things will get really interesting. That's when Harry might finally see what everyone else already has. When it all falls apart, and it will, Harry might be left with a life he doesn't even recognize. And the saddest part? Everyone around him saw it coming. Thomas Markle Jr. warned him. He even wrote a letter before the wedding, begging Harry to stop and think. He said if Meghan could turn on her own family without a second thought, she'd do the same to him. He wasn't being mean, he was being real. But Harry, so in love and caught up, didn't listen. Now he's paying for it. Harry's loneliness isn't random. It's planned. Thomas believes Meghan purposely cut off everyone who could have kept Harry grounded. His brother, his dad, his friends. She built a bubble around him, filled with her voice, her ideas, her plans. Inside that bubble, Harry doesn't just lose his way, he loses himself. What's left is a guy who repeats lines like a puppet, shows up to interviews like a ghost, and only smiles when a camera's paid to snap it. Then there's the sad part about the kids. Archie and Lilibet have never met their grandpa, King Charles, or their grandpa Thomas either. The family tree is cut off at the roots, all for control. Meghan says it's about keeping them safe, but Thomas says it's really manipulation, using the kids to control the story, keeping them away from both sides of the family, tucking them away like royal bargaining chips. It's not protection, it's power. Power over anyone who speaks out. And now, as Meghan's public image keeps slipping, she's starting to seem desperate. Her latest projects, lifestyle products, podcasts, new websites, feel forced and rushed. They're shiny, sure, but empty. They scream, "Look at me," while people just scroll past. It's all branding, no heart. She's trying to be a huge lifestyle star without realizing she's missing something you can't buy, being real. Talk of making up with family will come eventually. Meghan will try to spin a reconnecting story, maybe on camera, maybe in a fancy TV show. Thomas is already ready for it. He knows any try to reconnect won't be real. It'll be a show, a way to get sympathy, not a true effort to fix things. She's done it before and she'll do it again. That's how she works. Burn the bridge, then sell the story of fixing it when it helps her brand. As for Harry, Thomas has one message. Wake up. He's not being dramatic, he's really worried. Not just because Harry's lost his family, but because he's losing himself. The guy who used to light up rooms now fades into the background. There's nothing left of the confident, funny prince who laughed at himself and loved his people. All that's left is someone who looks tired, trapped, and scared to speak out of line. Thomas's prediction is clear. Once the royal titles are gone for good, Meghan's plans will change. Without the Duke and Duchess name, Harry's less useful. No more royal shine, no more headlines, no more weight to her name. That's when Thomas thinks Meghan will leave. Quietly or with a big show, dramatically or secretly, she'll walk away.